Karoline Leavitt is back, and she's not holding anything back. From effortlessly dismantling a smug French politician who quickly realized he was out of his depth, to leaving Jeff Bezos visibly shaken, every moment is a masterclass in bold, unapologetic confidence. This isn't just sharp commentary, it's pure gold. Her fearless takedowns and razor-sharp insight demand your full attention. Buckle up. What you're about to witness is nothing short of legendary. You won't want to miss a second.
There is now a member of the European Parliament from France who does not think the U.S. represents the values of the Statue of Liberty anymore. They want the Statue of Liberty back. So is President Trump going to send the Statue of Liberty back to France?
Absolutely not. And my advice to that unnamed low-level French politician would be to remind them that it's only because of the United States of America that the French are not speaking German right now. So they should be very grateful to our great country.
This is both hilarious and painfully ironic. A French politician demanding the return of the Statue of Liberty, seemingly forgetting one crucial detail. It was a gift from the French people. And here's the twist. His party only represents about 14% of them, based on the latest EU Parliament election results. So, technically, he's not even speaking for the majority who gave the gift in the first place. But the real kicker? It's a left-wing politician making the demand, as if that side still carries the global torch for freedom. You truly can't make this stuff up.
Former President Biden, he's set to deliver his first major speech since leaving office tonight. I wanted to get the president's response, or if he plans to respond to this, and comments on what Democrats are calling cuts to Social Security.
My first reaction when seeing former President Biden was speaking tonight was I'm shocked that he is speaking at nighttime. I thought his bedtime was much earlier than his speech tonight. I understand the topic of his speech will be Social Security. Let me make it very clear ahead of former President Biden's remarks. President Trump, is absolutely certain about protecting Social Security benefits for law-abiding, tax-paying American citizens and seniors who have paid into this program.
I still can't wrap my head around why Biden thought giving that speech was a good idea. Public speaking has never been his strong suit throughout his presidency, and this latest attempt only reinforced that perception. From the moment he stepped up to the podium, it was a slow-motion train wreck, mumbling through half-finished sentences, veering completely off topic, and leaving the audience confused, wondering if there was any point to it all. It wasn't just awkward, it was downright uncomfortable to watch. And just when you think political theater couldn't get any more surreal, along comes Karoline Leavitt. While Biden was fumbling through his prepared remarks, Karoline was out in real time delivering political knockout blows. Her sharp takedowns of Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, after their latest round of baffling statements, were both brutal and brilliant. She didn't just criticize. She dismantled their talking points with poise, clarity, and a confidence that made Biden's wandering delivery look even more out of touch. It's moments like these that make it crystal clear why Karoline is quickly becoming a rising force, and why so many others are scrambling just to keep up.
Tim Walz, Governor Walz, saying last night he frequently checks Tesla stock, in doing so to, quote, give me a little boost during the day. How should Americans view politicians who take pride in the downfall of an American car company?
I think that's quite sad, but I think Governor Walz unfortunately is living a sad existence after his devastating defeat on November 5th.
Exactly. When your political opponents are people like Tim Walz and Kamala Harris, the smartest strategy isn't to argue. It's to simply hand them a microphone and step aside. No rebuttal necessary. Every time they speak, they manage to do what entire campaigns struggle to achieve: expose their own incompetence in real time. Whether it's Kamala's now infamous word salads or Walz's baffling alternate reality takes, the result is the same: confusion, head shaking, and disbelief. You don't need spin, strategy, or even sharp criticism. Just patience. Let them talk. Let them ramble. Let the public sit back and wonder how on earth these individuals ended up with so much power and so little clarity. It's like watching a slow-motion implosion unfold. Awkward, unfiltered, and impossible to look away from. And the best part? You don't have to lift a finger. Just let the microphone do all the heavy lifting.
Well, I think it was a great reminder to the American people of just how blessed we all are that the leader sitting in the Oval Office today is President Donald Trump and not President Kamala Harris.
Just to add on the Kamala Harris point, I think I speak for everyone at the White House. We encourage Kamala Harris to continue going out and speaking engagements.
Oh, and by the way, quick reminder, if you haven't liked the video or subscribed to the channel yet, What are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit those buttons. It helps more than you know. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now let's talk about Tim Walz. Remember when the media was practically tripping over themselves to promote him during his latest town hall tour? They hyped him up as the next big thing, a fresh Democratic voice with supposed mainstream appeal. Fast forward just a few months, and crickets. After a series of missteps and awkward performances, the same outlets that couldn't stop singing his praises have suddenly gone silent. It's as if they realized the product they were selling didn't exactly match the packaging. Meanwhile, across the pond, the UK government is dealing with its own firestorm, this time thanks to Winston Marshall. He's not holding back. In a recent appearance, he called out the escalating attacks on free speech in Britain. And let's just say it struck a nerve. When musicians and artists start sounding more like truth-tellers and elected officials, you know something's gone seriously off track. So stick around. Between political gaffes, media spin, and the growing backlash against censorship, we're just getting started. And you'll definitely want a front row seat for what's coming next.
In Britain, we have had over a quarter of a million people issued non-crime hate incidents. As we speak, there are people in prison for quite literally reposting memes. Would the Trump administration consider political asylum for British citizens in such a situation?
Well, to your latter question, it's a very good one. I have not heard that proposed to the president, nor have I spoken to him about that idea, but I certainly can and talk to our national security team and see if it's something the administration would entertain.
Now here's where things get really interesting. This moment didn't just come out of nowhere. It happened during a White House press briefing specifically organized for new media outlets. If you were watching closely, you probably noticed a lot of unfamiliar faces in the press pool. It wasn't the usual lineup of legacy media favorites, nodding in agreement and tossing softball questions. And here's the kicker. The issue being discussed wasn't some breaking scandal or fresh controversy. It was a problem that had been festering for months, one everyone in that room knew about. But for all that time, the mainstream media had conveniently looked the other way, acting like the issue either didn't exist or wasn't worth their airtime. Then suddenly, a voice from outside the media bubble speaks up, asks the tough question, and just like that, it finally breaks through. That single moment speaks volumes about how legacy media really operates. It's not about truth or accountability. It's about controlling the narrative. If a story doesn't fit their script, it gets ignored. That's why these new voices are more important than ever, because sometimes all it takes is one outsider with the courage to ask what no one else will, and remind the public what real journalism actually looks like.
To your first question about free speech in the United Kingdom, the Vice President has been incredibly outspoken about this for good reason. And the President has spoken about this as well directly with your Prime Minister when he was here for a visit to the White House. So it remains a critical endeavor of ours to show the Brits and your country, which we love and admire, about the First Amendment and the importance of free speech in a sovereign nation.
Jeff Bezos also faced public scolding from Karoline, and the way she called him out was nothing short of brilliant.
This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years? And I would also add that it's not a surprise because, as Reuters recently wrote, Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should buy American. It's another reason why we are onshoring critical supply chains here at home to shore up our own critical supply chain and boost our own manufacturing here.
Now here's the part flying under the radar,
it's a game changer.
But it's a total game changer. Some observers are noting that this move is actually helping Amazon users identify which products are made outside the US. In other words, without any flashy campaign or marketing push, it's subtly steering consumers toward American-made alternatives. Pretty clever, right? But just imagine if this had happened under Trump. The mainstream media would have gone into meltdown mode. We'd be bombarded with headlines like, Trump terrorists hurt working families, or asterisk, economic doomsday incoming. Asterisk, you know the drill. Panic, outrage,
That's why this moment is
That's
so
what makes this moment so satisfying.
Caroline didn't just take a
Caroline
tough
didn't just
question.
face a tough
She
question.
turned it into an opportunity.
She turned it into an opportunity. And she didn't just hold her ground. She
And
absolutely
she didn't
put Jeff
just hold her
Bezos in his
ground.
place.
She put Jeff
Effortlessly
Bezos
and without
in his
missing a
place
beat.
without breaking
Cool,
a sweat.
confident, and completely
It was
unfazed.
cool, confident,
and to top it
and
all
completely
off,
unbothered.
we're ending with a jaw-dropper. MSNBC's very own Joy Reid
To top it all off,
2.0
we're ending with
just
a
got
jaw-dropper.
exposed again
MSNBC's
for blatant
very own
racism.
Joy Reid
And
2.0
yes,
just
it
got
happened during yet
exposed
another
again
White
for
House press
blatant
briefing
racism.
designed for new media. Funny how when the legacy press takes a step back,
And yes,
the truth
it
starts
happened
hitting
during
a little
another
too
White House
hard for
press
comfort.
briefing geared
So
toward
yeah,
the new media.
don't touch
because
that
apparently,
dial.
when the
This is
legacy press
only
steps
getting better.
aside, the truth.
It is racist what she is saying. The president intends on deporting illegal alien criminals who broke our nation's laws and are not only impacting communities across the country, but in particular communities of color in our inner cities. You remember the story out of New York City where young minority children were kicked out of their public school to make room for illegal immigrants to sleep on the floor of their cafeteria. That is putting America last. Doesn't matter your race, your religion, or creed. If you are a law-abiding American citizen, President Trump is going to put you first. And shame on Simone Sanders for saying.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what MSNBC was thinking with this move. They let Joy Reid go, supposedly to dial things back after years of divisive, over-the-top commentary. But then, in a head-scratching twist, they handed the mic to Simone Sanders. Really? It's like they swapped one outrage machine for another, and somehow expected a completely different result. If the goal was to rebuild trust or appeal to a broader audience, this wasn't just a swing and a miss. It was a full-blown strikeout, with the bat still resting on their shoulder. Instead of recalibrating their message, they've simply repackaged the same hyper-partisan energy under a new face. And viewers aren't buying it. People can see right through the act. It's not about honest dialogue or balanced reporting. It's just more the same noise, dressed up to look fresh and different. But hey, maybe that's just my take. I want to hear yours. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. And if you've been enjoying these takedowns as much as I have, go ahead and share this video with a friend or two. It really helps spread the word. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.